Hey, it's the Trigger, Rich Bontrager. Welcome back again for a 2 p.m. with the Trigger. Hey, it's a little bit after 2 o'clock. It's still 2 o'clock, right? It's all good. Between friends, it's okay. Hey, looking forward to a great little conversation here today. Actually, gonna have a surprise guest drop on in because one of the big things you hear me talk about here at the 2 o'clock lives is the power of collaboration. Tonight, I'm going to be hosting again the National Speakers Association Podcasters Group. Tomorrow night will be the Authors Group. But today I'm in the author world, even though it's going to be podcasting tonight. I'm hanging out in the author world. Actually, I'm getting the planning stages developed to actually get my own book done in 2023. Can you believe it? Trigger's going to write a book. So no, Trigger has the ideas in the book, but we're going to get the book stuff out of them. I'm going to bring in a great guy from 90 Minute Book Publishing, 90 Minute Books, Stuart Bell. He's from Florida. He's the curator, the founder of 90 Minute Books. And Stuart, thanks for taking the time to jump on here today on 2 p.m. with the Trigger.
Hey, Rich, great to be here. I love the impromptu nature of just on the phone and thinking, why not share this with the world?
It's so easy to jump on live now, and every day, you never know when I'm going to do it at 2 p.m. So again, yeah, we were on another Zoom call. We were planning some stuff together, and I said, come on, let's jump in. And that's the power of collaboration, media today. You got to seize the moment, right?
Or seize the teeth. I always remember the Robin Williams movie, Mrs. Doubtfire, where she says, "Carve instead of seize the day."
So you are the founder of 90 Minute Book. Can you kind of explain what 90 Minute Books is? I mean, I know, but they don't know.
Secret. It's a special club, an elite club. So 90 Minute Books company rather than a publishing company. And the reason I start off with that definition is interested in books as a marketing tool, a book as an opportunity in a way that starts an interesting conversation. So many people think of book world, the time and expensive writing, the desire to hit a better without necessarily thinking about all of the other opportunities of using it as a marketing, a way of starting conversations. So whenever I'm talking to people, it's always in the context they're looking to do is help you get in front of your audience. All of these people out there who you can provide a real difference for, who are desperate for the information that's in your head, help you get those ideas, those thoughts out of your head onto a page in a way that, so not a huge overhead of the book being the kind of industry leading tomb on the subject. It's just this way of starting a conversation, because the who you engage with, you probably know this yourself from your own personal experience, the people who are excited and ready to go now are going to find you, and this is a good list. It's the long term, the conversation starting long term benefits. That's the short answer.
Well, and one of the great things that you do with 90 Minute Books is you take people like me, so speakers, people that have great ideas, that we're not necessarily the great guys that sit down with a typewriter or keyboard and the words don't flow out of these fingers. Okay, let's just be honest, but they're here. You help us by recording, interviewing, discussing, and literally pulling the book out of us, and then you help craft the book with us, correct?
Yeah, exactly. And that's a great definition, a distinct author and a writer. So you, me, the people listening, we're authors of our created something unique, or if it's not the whole idea being something unique, to doing the work is unique, or our approach to engaging with customers is unique, interpreting the data is unique. So us as author of ideas is very different of words on a page. I can talk about an author long. If I had to sit down and actually write it in a document, it would be like being for assignment. And my
be like, where do you begin? Where do you end? Yeah, I mean, because beginning and middle, how do you like have the story flow? There's so many things that I don't know how to do, but
Right.
I have it all the content stuck up here.
And this idea of separating the tasks from having an understanding the audience and knowing broadly what you want to communicate versus the nuts and getting that out from your head in a way that flows onto a page and you're stitching it together into something that can be printed. All of that is business day in, day out. You don't really, there's no benefit. I remember I obviously, so I imported a car from Japan to the UK, so the process of doing that, it took months and lots of activity. All of that knowledge, I'm never ever going to do again. For one, it was a one-off. So all of this understanding and learning that I had to go through was those skills. So similarly, in creating a book, all of the process elements of it, and then the things that would be valuable skills. So thinking about how to articulate the idea takes people from the promise of the title, the thing that kind of interrupts their day, through the content to the call to action at the back, the next step that you want them to take. Structure that would be a useful skill to learn, but still it's a headache and an overhead. So much better, I think, is helping you capture the idea or refine the idea and then structure it in a way that has a job of work to do. The job of work is to help identify those invisible, interrupting them with a thought that they're interested in resolving, pull way through to a next step. And that's one of the big points as well. It's just the first. If you are sat there thinking, I want to write a book, and the book should encompass all of this knowledge and experience in my head, it's going to be a long job. But if you think instead to yourself that this is that we're going to continue in all of the other channels, in all of the other ways, over all, makes it much more likely that it'll be achievable.
Well, and again, that's where I've been stuck. But I've started it, I've stopped it. I've got partial elements in my laptop. I don't like it. I don't know what to do next with it. So again, that's where 90-minute books comes in and helps it. I'm going to have you jump off for a second. Try to fix your microphone. There seems to be a crackle coming in with the microphone now and some things. So just take a minute and I'll bring you back on in one moment here. We're going to have that technical difficulty, hopefully get fixed and see if we get better mic from Stuart. Again, 90-minute books. The idea here is they take the book from your head. They help you pull it out with interviews, discussions, topical, and then they help actually lay out the initial transcript of it. Now, you still have work to do yourself in this, but Stuart and his team are there to help you out with a lot of your creative ideas, because the blank canvas is the scariest thing on this. Again, I have several books on paper. I have movie scripts on paper. I just don't know what the heck I'm doing with them. Stuart and his team actually know what the heck they're doing with them to actually get it to even book cover design, right? You actually help with the book cover design, correct?
Yeah, exactly. To AirPods. It's not just a fashion statement. Is that any better?
Yeah, let's see if that works now for us.
Okay. I'll keep this one here just for effect, but the process as a whole. So what we're really looking to try and do is make a minimum viable book. So everyone's read the Lean Startup and the minimum. That is the most beneficial way of thinking about a book in this context. People, the product is the conversation. It's not actually any money from book sales on Amazon. We know that even if you're a small cut of the pie. So what we're trying to do is facilitate this idea of a conversation starting book that gets you in front of the people who are most. So what do you need to get that created? You need a title, something that resonates with people. outline, a purposeful outline that guides them from the beginning to the end. We need a compelling call to action for them to take to continue the conversation with you together into something that is that people would recognize as a book. Now, focused on making sure that perception keeps going. So, for example, they actually use digital books rather than physical books because it's a more effective, cost-effective way of getting. We refer to them as ebooks. We never refer to them as PDFs. It's always a digital version. Why? Because that positioning, that the expectation to reading a book, whether it's a physical version or a digital version, keywords is important. So we want the layout to look like a book. We want it structured like a book, a physical print and produce a physical book as well. But everything is around creating this thing. So just as you were saying, meaningful, purposeful outline, that kind of bespoke cover, the layout in a layout that looks like a book. All of these things make sure that the thing that you end up with, whether you're using the physical version or the digital version, resonates with people. It's delivering them the promise of a title in a way that more authority and gives us all of the benefits, if you like, of traditional publishing, plus the expense, the time of sitting in a cabin and locking yourself away to get those words out.
Well, and really the great thing is, again, from concept in your head to pulling it out of interview to doing the cover, you work with people to make sure it really comes out to become their lead magnet. It's now the new business card. A book is the new business card. It's the lead magnet, like you said, to attract people to the topic, to the interest, to your personal story, to your brand. And that book now becomes a gateway to more speaking opportunities, more interviews, more clients, more revenue. It's not always going to be the book revenue, but the book opens up the gate for more revenue, right?
Right. Yeah, exactly. In fact, it's almost never the book revenue. It's such a difficult place to make money. And even if your cost of books are, so if you were buying the latest novel, if you were buying the book is entertainment, so the product is the book itself, even that you're probably dollars for. So by the time you've taken Amazon's cut out of it, you may to like it. Even then, you're competing with all of the other books out there at the same price point. So you might want, because you don't have the authority as a New York Times bestselling author, so it's difficult to try. We've discounted it, so we're even a smaller cut. When you compare that to a client worth initially, and then the lifetime value of that client, it's worth many hundreds into the project rather, understanding that the product is the key to engage with those people. The product isn't the book itself. The book is just the conversations. Much more effective way of thinking about it.
Well, and you are the product. You are the genius. You are the brand expert, which is what I coach and present. The book is another element of your brand authority, but you are the brand authority. And the book should always pull back to you. Your podcast should always pull back to you. Your Twitter account should pull back to you. You are the genius, not the social media, not the stuff, but you should leverage it. And that's why the book is so important. That's why 90-Minute Books does a great job with this. We're looking forward to a lot of great things. Stuart and I have some things cooking up that we are going to be announcing. In fact, we will be doing, Rock the Stage will be producing Stuart's new book release, coming up with a book release party. And we will have more information coming up on that. So this is not the last time you'll see Stuart. But so Stuart, thanks for being with us today. And what's the best way to find you and 90-Minute Books?
The best way, 90minutebooks.com, name of the Instagram handle and the YouTube channel. We also have a podcast, More Show. So that's on all the favorite podcast players. Or again, go to there's links there. And if people want to reach out to me personally, I think I've probably got a Twitter over the last time I logged into it. So LinkedIn is probably the best place. So Stuart Bell, and it's spelled the bizarre British way, so Stuart, on all of the social channels, and that's where you can find me.
Stuart, thanks for taking the time to be with us. And as we are going to bring in Stuart's, hopefully if I did this right, there it is. This is Stuart's LinkedIn right here. And you can always connect with him on them. I got it up on the screen at this very moment. Stuart Bell.
Fantastic.
From 90-Minute Books. Thanks, Stuart, for being with us here today. Again, we got a lot of great stuff coming up. And in fact, watch in your email, watch on media. We are going to have a special Cyber Day live seminar on the 5 keys to rocking your next interview. We're going to do a special seminar, 6 p.m. Eastern on Cyber Monday. And that's going to be coming up very soon here. Watch your email boxes, watch all our social platforms to register for this. We're even going to give you a special half price Cyber Day price from Rock the Stage Media, because interviews are one of those calling cards, those business elements. You need to learn how to nail these, to crush these, to get more likes, more followers, more clients, or more revenue. Just like we just talked about with the book. Your interview is just as important as that book is. That's going to do it for today. It's 2 p.m. with The Trigger. Thanks for dropping in. We will be back tomorrow at 2 p.m. with The Trigger for more insights, information, and maybe, you never know, a surprise guest or two. We'll see you tomorrow at 2 p.m.